Have you noticed more stiffness in your joints, aches that weren't there before, or concern about bone loss as you approach menopause? You're not imagining it. Over 60% of women report joint pain during perimenopause and menopause, and women can lose up to 20% of their bone density within the first 5 to 7 years after menopause. In today's episode, I'm sharing what's really happening in your body, my personal journey with joint pain, and the exact strategies I use weekly to nourish my bones and joints naturally. So friend, if you're ready to nourish your joints and bones for increased mobility and vitality, then grab a notebook and pen and let's dive in. Hey friend, welcome to Integrative Medicine for Energy and Health. Are you struggling with low energy, excessive weight, chronic fatigue, imbalanced hormones, or body aches and pains that are robbing you of enjoying life? If you're ready to take the guesswork out of living a healthier life, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Rekishia. I'm a mom, honorably retired Air Force veteran, award-winning author, social worker, and Christian alternative medicine provider. For years, I tried improving my health through conventional medicine and nothing worked until I finally found a simple strategy that was easy and fun. This podcast will provide you with natural ways to increase energy, lose weight, regulate hormones, and improve your mood. If you're ready to live, look, and feel better, grab your favorite cup of herbal tea and let's jump in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. If this is your first time joining me, I want to personally welcome you. And to the women who return week after week, this space was created for you. I'm Dr. Rekishia McMillan, and it is my passion to help women to feel, look, and live better. This show is for women who are ready to move beyond surface level answers, women who are seeking holistic solutions, and women who want to better understand their temples, especially during hormonal transitions. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you noticed stiffness when you wake up? Or aches that just weren't there before? When I entered menopause, I began experiencing joint discomfort in a way that I never had before. It just wasn't occasional. It was consistent. And it caused me to pause and really pay attention to what was happening in my body. Because the truth is, our bodies are incredibly and fearfully and wonderfully designed. We have over 120 joints in the body, places where our bones connect to allow movement. And at each of those joints is cartilage, which acts like a cushion, allowing smooth, effortless movement. Think about how many times a day you move without even thinking about it. Walking, reaching, turning your head, picking something up. These movements happen thousands of times a day, seamlessly, until something changes. Because when joint discomfort sets in, everything feels different. Movements that once felt simple can begin to feel stiff, restricted, and even painful. And this is where many women find themselves during menopause. Joint inflammation, that's often referred to as arthritis, is not just one condition. It's actually a group of over 100 conditions, all involving inflammation in the joints. And this is what led me to realize I needed to start supporting my joints intentionally. So what happens to bones and joints in menopause? As estrogen declines, bone and joint health are directly impacted. Estrogen supports bone remodeling, collagen production, and inflammation balance. And when it drops, bone breakdown increases, collagen declines, joints lose cushioning, and inflammation rises. And this is why women are at a higher risk for osteoporosis. Some key statistics show that up to 50% of women over 50 will experience a fracture. Women lose up to 20% of bone density post-menopause, and over 60% report joint pain. Did you know that the body is always rebuilding? Bone is actually living tissue regulated by what are known as osteoblasts, which build bone, and osteoclasts, which break down bone. Joint tissue depends on collagen, hydration, and nutrient delivery. With proper support, the body can restore and strengthen itself. When it comes to support, vitamin D and bone testing are essential. Vitamin D is necessary for calcium absorption. The test that's used to track vitamin D levels is called the 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. And this blood test measures the level of 25-hydroxy vitamin D in your bloodstream, which is the main circulating form of vitamin D and the most accurate indicator of your vitamin D status. I encourage every woman to request this test as part of her annual physical. And to test your bone density, there's a gold standard test known as the DEXA scan. You can get this, it's usually recommended at the age of 65, but you can also have it done earlier between the ages of 50 and 60 if you're having symptoms that are related to joint and bone pain. I'd like to share 7 strategies to help support your bone and joint health that I personally use and recommend to the women that I work with. Number 1, movement and strength training. Movement stimulates bone-building cells and improves circulation to your joints. Number 2, bone broth, which I absolutely love. This is a personal practice that I do every single week. Usually on Sunday evenings, I take out my crock pot and prepare bone broth for the week. This has become a consistent rhythm in my routine to nourish my bones. Bone broth provides collagen for cartilage repair, amino acids for tissue healing, and minerals for bone strength. If you'd like to know more about the healing power of bone broth, I invite you to listen to podcast episode 267, where I talk about hormone health and my ultimate bone broth recipe. 3 is consuming calcium-rich foods. Calcium strengthens the bone matrix but must be absorbed properly. Some practical intakes include dark leafy greens daily, 1 to 2 cups, such as kale, collard, spinach. Eating sardines with the bones to support your bone and joint health, usually about 2 to 3 servings per week. You can do this by can. I actually prefer the whole sardines, which you can get in your seafood section. Chia seeds, about 1 to 2 tablespoons daily. I just had some chia seeds this morning. I mixed about 2 tablespoons with my scrambled eggs this morning. Is a great way to get your chia seeds in. Almonds, you can have a handful a day. And then again, bone broth, having that multiple times weekly. And sardines are especially powerful because they provide bioavailable calcium and omega-3s. Number 4 is vitamin D support. Now, vitamin D acts like a hormone and regulates calcium absorption. Personally, I incorporate vitamin D3 and K2 into my routine, and I found it extremely supportive, especially for my body. Some sources include sunlight, get outside about 10 to 20 minutes daily, eating fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, tuna, consuming egg yolks, having mushrooms like shiitake or either UV exposed mushrooms, and then supplementation D3 and K2. And K2 helps direct calcium into the bones where it belongs. Number 5 is hydration. Hydration supports joint lubrication through synovial fluid. So you should aim for about half of your body weight in ounces daily. For more on hydration, listen to podcast episode 168, where I talk about dehydration and hormonal imbalance in women. Number 6 is red light therapy, which I absolutely love because it supports cellular energy production, reduces inflammation, and promotes tissue repair. For more on red light therapy, you can listen to podcast 275, where I talk about infrared light and cellular reset for energy and wellness. And number 7, anti-inflammatory lifestyle, meaning you want to focus on whole foods, you want to focus on stress reduction and quality sleep to protect bones and joints. Now I'd like to share some advanced nutritional and regenerative support. Some women benefit from additional support such as collagen peptides, which support cartilage repair and joint elasticity, magnesium, which supports bone formation and muscle relaxation. Sources include leafy greens, seeds, and almonds. You can listen to podcast episode 270, where I talk about low magnesium in women and how to remedy it naturally. Ensuring that you're getting enough vitamin K. Vitamin K directs calcium into the bones. Some sources include egg yolks as well as fermented foods. Omega fatty 3 acids help to reduce inflammation and support joint mobility. Sources include salmon, sardines, flaxseed, and walnuts. And then finally, light therapy patches. Now, you may have heard me mention light therapy patches in the past, but I want to briefly explain what they are. These are non-invasive wellness tools that support the body using light-based stimulation. They don't deliver substances into the body, but instead they interact with the skin to help stimulate the body's natural healing processes. And so this may help to improve cellular communication, support circulation, reduce inflammation, and promote repair. At the cellular level, they support mitochondrial function, which helps your cells produce energy. And when your cells have energy, you can better repair and regenerate, especially in joints and connective tissue. I personally use this as part of my routine and offer them to clients who want additional support beyond nutrition and lifestyle. And like anything, this works best when layered on top of a strong foundation. Now let's talk about faith and bone health. Bones are mentioned approximately 80 to 98 times in the Bible, often symbolizing strength, help, deep emotional sorrow, or the physical body. Proverbs 17:22 says, "A broken spirit dries the bones." Proverbs 14:30 says, "A heart at peace gives life to the body." If you're experiencing joint or bone pain, it could be related to emotional issues and unresolved tension, which increases inflammation in the body. Healing from emotional burdens requires total surrender and laying those cares at the foot of the cross, where Jesus has said that we can cast all of our cares upon him because he cares for us. Healing requires alignment physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And so I want to encourage you to prayerfully consider the pain you're experiencing and allow the Holy Spirit to speak to your heart about what cares you need to lay at the foot of the cross. So let's wrap it all up. Bone and joint health is not just about aging, it's about how you support your body through change. When you combine nutrition, movement, cellular support, and emotional wellness and seeking God through prayer, you create the environment for healing. If today's conversation resonated with you, I want to invite you to go deeper to my upcoming Women's Hormone Health Workshop on May the 9th. It's in person and virtual. In this workshop, we'll cover hormone balance and practical strategies for healing. You can register now by clicking on the link in today's show notes. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode helped you, share it with another woman who may need this message. And remember, your body was designed to heal, restore, and rebuild. When you support it the right way, it will respond. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. I'll leave you with Isaiah 58, verse 11. "And the Lord shall guide you continually, and satisfy your soul in drought, and make fat your bones. And you will be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not." Hey friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who may want to have more energy and improve their health naturally? Also, I would love it if you could leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It blesses me tremendously to know that this podcast is helping you. Alrighty then, it's time to go make a protein shake and go for a hike. No more days of feeling tired and drained. I'll see you in a few days for another episode. God bless.